and welcome back to Tales Untold. I'm Wyatt.
I'm Erica.
And today we will be discussing our thoughts on The Monkey.
Both the movie and the short story.
Yes. So the short story was written in like the 80s.
It was originally in a magazine, right?
Yeah, it's called a gallery magazine, which is an adult
magazine.
Yeah. And the short story was written by Stephen King. The movie was produced by James Wan, directed by Osgood Perkins, starring Theo James. I know you don't know who any of those names are.
No, they
Except
ring
Stephen
a bell,
King.
but that's about it. Yeah. Did you finish reading it?
Yes, I did. So the thing is, I watched the movie first, and then I read the story. I read it and then watched the movie. So we probably had a little bit of different
views on
the monkey.
Yes. How did you feel going into the movie?
I was super excited. I liked the looks of the trailer. I didn't know it had already released. I think I saw like a teaser a while back, and it got me excited because it was Osgood Perkins, and I've been waiting. I didn't realize it was releasing already. Just kind of snuck up on me, but yeah, I think the first trailer they released, I was kind of, I'll wait till this comes up. But the second one, I really liked how they did it, and I was like, I want to see this in theaters.
And I believe you showed me that trailer.
I did.
I was completely unprepared for what I did experience.
I was a little too. I feel like the trailer was a little bit of a
misnomer.
Yeah. I did still like it, just not as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a horror. It was
a comedy.
Yes.
I don't really think there was much horror aspect.
I think the fact that there was deaths in such a way is what made it a horror.
The monkey was also pretty creepy.
Yeah, at times, but there was so much comedy interlaced that it wasn't
scary.
I couldn't. There was a couple of times that had jump scares where like it just changed something real quick, and you were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But nothing where I would shout out or anybody else did. There was a lot of laughter in the theater, which was strange to me. I went into this movie completely unprepared.
I thought it was going to be more horror-like.
Absolutely. I was unprepared with how different it was going to be.
Yeah. And before we get started, this will have spoilers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes. For the book and the movie.
Yes. So if you have not watched either and you don't want it spoiled, stop now. And then go watch those and then come in. From the first 2 minutes of the movie, when they were announced as twins, I was confused.
Because you read the book first, and it only says that he's older, not that they're...
It never specified that they were twins.
Yeah. But from the very start of the movie, like, I liked the tone it set up, and then, like, I forget what the guy said exactly, but he just had a flamethrower and was burning the monkey and was, like, screaming.
Oh, yeah. He was trying to get rid of the monkey. That was their dad.
That was their dad. Petey.
Yes. But in the movie, he didn't even have a name. I mean, in the short story, he didn't have a name.
I think they referenced it, but they didn't say his name exactly. He was like, "You're Petey, just like your or maybe that was
the movie. You're Petey, just like your grandfather." Bill was almost not in the short story at all.
Yeah, he was barely in it, just to get blueberry popsicle.
Yeah, he was just a memory and a phone call.
Yeah. He was the villain of the movie.
Yes, which
I didn't see coming.
I mean, I kind of did. He was pretty ominous, and then when he was listed as Mrs. Monkey, come find me.
The search for the monkey call or whatever, the voicemail.
Yeah. But the premise of the movie was a little confusing to me. I don't know if that's because I'm gonna mix this up the whole time. I don't know if it's because I read the short story first And so I had an expectation and it didn't happen. So I was confused. And so I kind of had to backlog in my brain, like, wait. This is different. So now this is going to be different. And so it was like a weird domino effect happening in my brain. So I think that definitely hindered my experience of the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the movie. It was definitely not what I expected. I will absolutely say that. So it gave me the question, how much influence did Stephen King have in making of this movie? And I discovered that he had nothing to do with it, other than the fact that the monkey original short story was his. So Osgood Perkins actually, he wanted to create this movie as sort of a tribute to Stephen King and how he feels about Stephen King and how his writing has affected him. I think he was a little nervous to present it to Stephen King. But I believe Stephen King did enjoy the movie.
He did. He actually said on a tweet that said, "You've never seen anything like the monkey. It's bat crap insane. As someone who has indulged in bat crappery from time to time, I say that with admiration."
That's fun. I mean, I'm happy that he enjoyed it, that he actually liked it. Because a lot of times people really, really mess up adaptations.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would consider this a mess up because it was his goal to not make it a word for word replication.
Yeah.
So I don't consider this a fail.
It's just probably something you weren't expecting since you had read the story first.
Right. But I think this type of cinema is an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something that everyone's going to enjoy.
For sure not.
Like, even people that like horror may not enjoy this. Like, it's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show situation. Like, it's a niche.
I've never seen that.
You don't want to. So it's a very particular group of people that would wholeheartedly enjoy this. Like, I'm sure there's other people that'll be like me where they're like, I mean, yeah, it was a movie. Like, it was all right. I didn't hate it. I didn't walk out halfway through. I was intrigued to see how it was going to end. But it didn't leave me feeling scared or...
Yeah, no. It was funny. Like...
It was definitely entertainment.
Yeah.
But I was reading some other articles where people were saying that there was a really deep connection to how death happens to everyone, and you can never really predict how it happens. And
I didn't see that at all.
I mean, I can see where they would pick up that thought process.
I don't watch movies that deeply. Like,
I can't. Like, I do. I was also looking for a lot of things in the movie, but it didn't leave me with that feeling.
No.
So I also don't think that was his intent. Was to leave you leaving the cinema going, oh, I could go home. I could just die on the way home. You know, like, it didn't leave you with that resonance of, oh, that could have been me kind of feeling. It was just entertainment.
It was.
That's really all it was to me.
And I did really like it, but there are a few things I didn't like.
No? Like what?
The whole cop character, Ricky, I think his name was. The guy that was in Halloween Ends as the babysitter. I forget his real name, but I didn't like that at all, really.
The whole, like, character idea?
Yeah. The, like, guy with the wig and him dressing up as a cop. And,
Do you think it was just the fact that he did dress up as a cop and you're irritated about that?
No. I didn't like him from, like, I think it might have been how fake the wig looked.
Maybe you were just personally annoyed that his hair was in his face.
Maybe.
Real or otherwise.
I don't know. And then, like, him saying that the monkey reminded him of his dad.
Yeah, that was pretty random.
That was just weird.
Because not only is he not a character in the short story at all.
Yeah, like
he's out of left field. Like, you could have at least made him the childhood friend that actually died in the short story.
Yeah.
But somehow didn't. And then ended up dying
by a swarm of bees, which I thought was really weird.
I think they were wasps, but yeah, whatever they were. Whatever the flying, yeah. It's still a terrible
death. They
death.
flew into his mouth and
burrowed their way out.
Yeah. It was weird.
That's a bad time. Suffocating on bugs in your lungs.
Ugh.
Oh, that feeling. Just imagining that feeling is gross.
It'd be horrible.
Heebie-jeebies. Yeah, that particular part was confusing to me.
It was weird.
I saw it coming. Like once we saw that nest in the tree.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's going to be the reason.
Obviously, the main character wouldn't die.
Well, who knows? Honestly, at that point, I was like, it's a free for all. Because like that was what 3/4 of the way through the movie. So at that point, I was like, I mean, Hal could be next.
Petey.
Yep. Yeah. So it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
The ending was weird when they were leaving, like in the movie, and the horseman death. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Which is in the Bible, it's like one of the 4 horsemen that shows up at the beginning of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was the monkey's demon because of the eyes. Just
the eyes were similar, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. The way they zoomed into them, I thought
it was meant to mean something.
Yeah.
All I could think of when I saw him was the headless horseman, but clearly it wasn't him because he had
a head.
But like, that's all I could think of, and I'm just sitting there like, what? What? If I had gotten $1 for every time I said what, I'd have walked out of there a millionaire.
I thought for sure when Hal and Petey were going to cross the intersection, they were going to get hit by something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because the tagline of the movie is everybody dies.
Except everyone but them.
Yeah. And then obviously there was the school bus with cheerleaders and a semi-truck did go by. And
that was
odd.
Not exactly unexpected.
But
overkill.
Yeah, the plane going down, like after the monkey started beating his drums and was mad, was a little...
Yeah, the mini apocalypse happening in town.
Like, I get things being on fire and people dying, but the plane...
Well, there was the foreshadowing when Petey had the flyer, the pamphlet for the getting married parachuting.
Yeah.
There was that foreshadowing there. At first, I thought they were going to actually try it.
And that would have ended...
I'm sure it would have for somebody. Watch, they would have jumped out and survived, but the plane would have crashed. It would have been something like that.
Oh, one of the jokes that I thought was actually kind of funny was when Bill called Hal at the motel, and he was like, if I throw it at a plane, it'll just bounce or something.
Yeah. When they were trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to the moment at the hotel when the air conditioner falls on the pool water.
And like the hose.
And the girl explodes in the pool.
Oh my God, is that a leg?
Yes, that part. That was, I think, the first time I laughed during the movie. That was the first laugh it got out of me.
That was funny.
That was like a leg. A leg just fell out of the sky. But at first my brain was like, that's so unrealistic. Like you wouldn't explode in the water like that.
All of those deaths were
exaggerated to the max.
The one that was the most exaggerated was the shotgun exploding the landlord.
Realtor. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
that one did happen in the short story.
It did?
I believe so.
It wasn't
a huge part and Hal wasn't there. It was something that I think Bill had told him, or someone had told Hal that it had happened. That while they were looking through the house, she opened a closet and the gun came down and went off on her.
Oh.
But
where was that part?
I don't remember.
The short story was a little hard to...
It was kind of hard to follow.
Yeah.
But the funny part about that particular scene, to me, I don't know if you noticed it, the sign on the wall that said guns don't kill people, people do.
Yeah, I did see that. The knitted one with the AK.
Instead of home sweet home. It was the gun and the people that...
And then a gun literally...
Yes, the gun literally went off for no reason. What?
The finger in his mouth.
That was... I thought he was just going to like pull like brains, normal. Normal.
Not a finger?
Yeah. Like how? How would... It's a shotgun, not a grenade.
Yeah. A shotgun could not obliterate someone like
not that much, no. Yeah. Not one shot anyway.
Also, I don't know who listens to their earbuds that loud. Like, Petey was downstairs.
Oh, yeah, and he didn't hear the shot.
Okay? He heard something, but it's like...
People do.
But, like, no matter how loud the music is, I feel like you'd be able to hear a gunshot right
But it's a singular sound. So think of how many songs have sirens in them.
That's true.
And then, like, you turn it down and you're like, is that real? And then you wait a second and you don't hear it again. So you're like, this is a song, whatever. And then you carry about your life. So it was probably that kind of situation where, like,
that makes sense.
It was a bang.
And you're like...
And, like, thudding. So you're like, is it music? Like, everybody all right? Yeah, we're good. All right. Yeah. Then you carry about your life. Then he's also a kid. So he's not really going to think something sinister. He doesn't know that the monkey is evil. He doesn't even know the monkey exists at that point.
Yeah.
So, that reminds me. The family dynamic. What?
Way different in the book.
Oh my goodness.
They don't like each other at all.
No. Everybody was so mean and cynical.
Especially Bill.
Oh my God, he was the worst.
Yeah.
And there was actually also another moment of foreshadowing. I don't know if you noticed, it was very small. And at first I marked it in my head. I put a little pin in it. And because I was like, maybe it's just a coincidence. But when the kids at the funeral are eating their ice creams, Bill has chocolate and Hal has vanilla. Good and evil. Black and white.
Yin and yang.
Twins. I was like,
knowing Osgood Perkins, he probably
did that on purpose. But those are the kind of things that I do try to look for, just like those little subtle things. And I noticed it, and I'm like, I'm going to remember this because but it was really obvious. So it was obvious. It was obvious to me. So I was like, maybe not. Maybe that's not what it means. But that turned out to be exactly what it meant.
I thought you were going to talk about where Bill was bullying Hal, and he was like, say you want to marry the monkey and be Mrs. Monkey or something.
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I remember.
Oh.
But that's not foreshadowing.
I don't know if foreshadowing is the right word, but the Mrs. Monkey thing, in the phone book, his name was Mrs. Monkey.
That was so Hal could find him.
But how would...
Because once stuff started to get weird, Hal was going to go looking for the monkey. And who's going to help him find the monkey?
Bill. But little did we know, Bill already had the monkey.
And he's the reason that Hal needed to look for it, because it was going crazy. Yes. So, like, that was why he did that.
I see.
Because then I think it was an afterthought that he wanted Petey to turn the key. That was an afterthought.
Yes, because then it was like, Petey won't die. But maybe you will, Hal.
Yeah. I don't know. But it seemed to, like Hal, the monkey. You know what I mean?
Because he wasn't the first person. He wouldn't have been.
No, I mean, who knows how old this thing is?
I mean, it looked pretty decently old.
And actually, the monkey himself, from
the short
story to the movie, we'll set aside the drum and the cymbals for a moment. But the actual look of the monkey, he looks brand new in the movie.
In the movie or in the...
In the movie. But in the short story, he has patches of fur missing. He's ragged. He's dirty. He's old. He's disgusting. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, this thing's gross. But then I saw the movie one and I'm like, why is he fluffy? Why is he pretty? Why?
The vest was nice. Like when they picked him up out of the box.
Yeah, like, and he looked brand new.
Yeah.
But the short story, that was not the case. So that kind of surprised me, that he wasn't a haggard, disgusting looking thing. So maybe like bad things come in pretty packages type deal. I don't know.
Organ grinder monkey, I think it said on the box. And then like life.
Yeah. I don't remember what the short story called it. It was a different brand. I think it was a specific brand. They probably weren't
something.
They probably weren't supposed to use it.
Jolly Chimp. They can't.
Well, that wasn't the brand. It wasn't in a box it belonged in.
Oh.
It was just in a box.
Oh, I think it started with like a C and it had like a P.
Yeah, it was like a weird...
It like had a dash and then P or something.
Capella something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, but I think it was a brand that may or may not still be around, so they probably couldn't use it.
Yeah.
So they just put it in its own box.
Organ grinder monkey.
Yeah. Although it didn't have an organ.
But it did have that weird black goo. Remember when
that was chopped? The blood, I guess, of the demonic monkey. I don't think he cut it up in the...
No, he didn't.
Short story, I don't think so. I think he just threw it in the dumpster as they were taking all that stuff away.
Yeah.
Or the trash truck.
I do gotta say, I do like the short story's ending a lot better than the movie one.
Yes, so I did finish the short story first.
Yes, you did.
Before the movie.
Before the movie. I finished it after the movie.
Right. So I did close the book feeling a little empty. Like, that's the end. Like, we just have a monkey that's at the bottom of the lake and is gonna kill fish forever. And now we have a possessed lake. Okay. That's it. I was a little confused by that. Or, like, not confused.
You didn't feel complete.
Yeah, left feeling empty. Which, in a way, I could kind of respect, because I enjoy writing stories that way also. Where you finish it and you go, but that's not it, right? That kind of leaves you half full there. Or half empty, probably.
I liked it better because it wasn't as weird as the movie ending, where it was like an apocalypse, and like at that point, like with the cheerleaders, that was also overdone. And then they're like, oh, we never let it leave our sight. Yeah. And it was in the back seat. But like, I feel like the lake would have been a nice
touch.
Yeah. Like in the book, like you just said, it was put into the lake by Petey and Hal, and fish turned up dead a couple days later. Yeah. And that's saying that the monkey is, or implying, I should say,
that the monkey is still doing its thing.
Yeah, and then that could have... So, like, if they went, like, how the entire story did with the short story for this movie, and ended it like the short story did, they could have made a movie like this.
Yes, they could have made a second one.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like in the short story, what it's trying to tell you by doing that is no matter how much you bury it,
it'll always just come back.
Death will still come back.
I don't know if it can actually teleport. It seems like it can, but I don't know. But they use the word teleport.
Well, in the short story, I think it showed, or I guess it didn't show. It had the monkey telling Hal that he hitchhiked all the way.
Yeah, I
all the way back, and it was describing to him all of these people it killed on the way, and like this person got electrocuted in their bathtub, and
yeah, which is probably with a swimming pool.
That was the truck guy.
The truck.
The trash truck driver that originally took the monkey away from their childhood home in Connecticut, right? Where they first
I think it was,
their mom.
yeah.
I think it was Connecticut. So that trash truck driver was dead because he took the monkey like, oh, I'm going to take it home to my kids. And the monkey's like, no, I have other ideas. So I think, I don't know. They're so different.
They are, and I think the biggest difference is obviously the cymbal and drums.
Yes, we get to come back to that. I still don't fully understand it.
I don't either. I don't know how... I'm just going to get right into this. I don't know how Disney can copyright a Jolly Chimp, a cymbal-clapping monkey, because it was in Toy Story 3, the way they trademark Woody and Buzz.
Yes.
I don't understand how they do that.
Now, I could understand if they were trademarking the Jolly Chimp, because that is a brand. That is a specific toy.
Yeah, that is like the...
But they can't trademark an idea of a monkey.
Yeah, that's literally what they trademarked. A cymbal-clapping monkey.
That's what people are claiming that has been trademarked.
Yeah.
Because there were also other references of monkeys that have symbols in things, and Disney did nothing about it. There was a video game.
Call of Duty, the little bombs. It was also in Fallout. It was also in The Conjuring.
And those are big things.
Yeah. Huge.
So why has Disney not done anything to them?
I don't know.
So it makes my blood boil a little bit to think that are you serious? Disney trademarked
it doesn't make
symbols
sense.
On a freaking monkey? Like
a toy. Don't call it a toy though.
Oh jeez. But it just doesn't make sense because we have knockoff Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
We have knockoff army men.
I don't understand the full thing, and the internet's not really helping. It's just saying, oh, the monkey had to change cymbals to drums. I do like the drums better, though, but...
I think the cymbals would have been very annoying.
Oh, yeah.
That sound would have hurt my ears a lot. Yeah.
That's how he wrote it in the book.
He did. And it's a very accurate description of that sound.
Yes, annoying.
Jang, jang, jang. But I think being a movie, they could have adjusted the sound to be less
annoying,
painful on your ears, and more eerie. Because I think the sound of the cymbals would have been more eerie because it resonates.
Because you would hear it from upstairs, and then the way the house was set up, their bedroom was in the basement. Or just the bottom floor? Yeah,
I think it was like
I think it was a basement because...
Or maybe it was a raised ranch kind of house.
I don't know.
Where the first and second floors are like... Yeah. I don't like the raised ranch. It's like annoying.
Strange.
And I liked the idea in the story where there's a moment when Hal is putting the monkey into the bag with the rocks before they dump it into the lake. And the rocks cling the cymbals together.
Yeah.
And he stops and he's like thinking that's going to cause somebody's death. Like,
and then when you put the toilet brush in between the cymbals.
Yeah, and the toilet brush got singed.
Yeah, like
because
black or
So I'm guessing it was singed, but actually now that the monkey got cut up, maybe it was the monkey's guts.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
They didn't really go that far. They just said
it wasn't a huge
black.
Detail. Yeah. I was guessing singed at the time. And then even before, and actually because he did that, he prevented Petey's death.
He did.
Because Petey was about
story, right?
Yeah, in the short story. So Petey was about to get run over by a car.
Yeah, he was.
But because he put that toilet brush there, it prevented the cymbals from going together.
I like how there was a way to actually stop it.
Right. Or at least delay it. Yeah. I don't know if they had tried to stop this thing, if that would have worked. Because actually he tried to force it to do... Yeah, Bill. Bill. I know, I keep forgetting his name.
It's because of the short story. There's Bill and Will.
Oh, yeah, the uncle.
Yeah, but in the movie, he was named Uncle Chip. And I do like that they changed his name, but Uncle Chip is a weird name to change it to. I like that they changed it only because Will and Bill would have gotten confusing, I feel like.
I mean, you were already confused by it. Yeah, and it was very strange to me how different the family was.
They were just estranged. All of them.
Everyone.
Literally, yeah.
Like, even
everybody hated each other.
Yeah, even Hal and his ex-wife. Who? And then he was missing a child?
Technically, they were still together.
Were they?
Yeah, they were. They didn't have the divorce yet.
But she's off living with some other... What? And he... That's even more confusing. That hurts my head.
All right, let's just say they're divorced.
Right? I don't know.
I thought there was a thing, though, that said that they weren't yet. Like in the movie. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just say they're divorced.
Right? I mean, I was assuming they were divorced because she had this whole other life planned out and she was about to adopt her kid away to somebody else.
Also, whoever her new boyfriend was played by Elijah Wood.
It was.
Yeah. He was a super odd character.
He's always a super odd character now. You know what? Daniel Radcliffe does the same thing.
Yeah, like the Guns Membo movie. I think I'm saying it wrong.
I don't know. There was another movie that he was in with Sandra Bullock. It was she was like a story writer, and then she went on like a real life adventure or treasure hunt or something, and he was the bad guy. But he was a super weird, flamboyant bad guy, and it was hilarious. I didn't hate that character.
Yeah, he has been in a lot of weird movies. The movie I'm thinking of is called Guns Akimbo.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
I've never watched it, but like that's the poster.
I can really see the Daniel Radcliffe in him in that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
He looks so different from his Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. But I love that for them. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're living there. They're happy. They're living... Well, they don't need to work.
That's true. After Harry Potter?
After Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings? Those two don't have to work. So they're just doing it for fun. And like, that's the best.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That would be cool.
Like, I could just do whatever and be ridiculous because I can. That'd be amazing. We digressed.
Yeah, we did. Something that I thought was kind of funny is the company that made the movie, Neon, posted this, and it says, the almost #1 movie in America. Damn you, Marvel, Hulk smash Harrison Ford. I thought that was funny. That was posted by the official Neon.
You know, I was thinking that the Marvel Hulk smash, those words after it were an anagram, like if you shortened them, if they had said like a bad word, because that would have been hilarious.
That would have been.
That's something I would do. Because like you could have put hell in there. Like you could have put Hulk. I don't know who's an E. X-Men. That's an X.
What?
That wouldn't work out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could have put words that start. Yeah, that would have been funny. But I think he was being literal in this sense.
Yeah. Also, another thing about the monkey, the eyes were just super...
They were well done.
Yeah,
they were creepy. They reflected just enough. And
they were like glazed in the short story, right?
I think they were accurate to the short story. I don't think...
Yeah.
I think they were what they should have been. Because you felt like you could almost see something in the blackness of the middle.
And I think that's why I thought the horseman death was the monkey's spirit.
The eyes were very similar.
Yeah, like something about them, I don't know what.
Yeah. One of the parts that I thought had the most potential to actually be scary and spine chilling was when Bill as a kid saw it on the porch.
And like it evolved into like a shadow.
Yeah, so like he looked at it and you kind of zoomed in and you saw it as a shadow just sitting there.
Yeah, and like you didn't see it at first, but when it got a little closer, you were like, that's the monkey.
Yeah, and then like it kind of chilled you a little bit. But then they kept zooming closer and then it got to color and then you got way up close and then it was there and you're like, all right, well now it's not scary. That was literally the way I experienced that moment. I was like, oh, what is that? And then I'm like, oh, all right. Like it dissipated very quickly for me.
One of my favorite scenes is people probably think this is a really goofy scene.
I'm concerned.
It's the dream scene.
Oh.
Like when Hal is laying in the motel, he's asleep, and like this giant monkey hand picks him up, and he's like spinning in the monkey kaleidoscope type of thing, and
in
down the well. I just really liked the music in the background, the monkey, how it was like in the kaleidoscope form, and the drums. I don't know. I just liked the entire thing. And then he woke up, and a girl exploded in the pool.
Yeah. Well, I thought for sure he was going to wake up about to jump into the well. In that moment, like even for that scene, that's what that tension
a lot
was
of
building
movies
up for me.
do that
Sort of thing. So like that was what that tension was making me feel.
Yeah,
like that, especially because the monkey removed him from the bed. But then once the monkey hand was gone and it cut to the scene where you saw his face, it looked like he sat up in the bed.
It did. Like he was like, it was weird. I don't.
But then it switched to him falling into the well. So I'm like, is he actually sleepwalking?
That'd
like,
be cool. I wonder where the movie would have went if he actually went to the well.
Because that's how the short story was. Is he went to the well a few times.
He did, yeah.
And that's where he had dropped the monkey. Not with no, he did it by himself.
He did?
In the short story? I'm pretty sure he was by himself.
Oh.
Because
the short story was so hard to follow. I can't really recall.
Yeah, there was
a lot of,
especially in the beginning, it was a little yo-yo
choppy. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I would also like to see a monkey movie that is the word for word chronologically of the short story.
And someone that can be like, screw Disney, I'm using symbols.
Right. And like actually is scary.
I think it's crazy that after, I think it was over 40 years by now, that this is the first official film adaptation.
Which is really funny because I was reading about that the production company actually kept using the monkey as like the selling point for the Skeleton Crew collection.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a lot of them that actually have
the monkey on it.
Right.
Like the original, one of the originals is,
yes,
it has the clapping monkey on it.
Yes. And I think what's on the one we have is like a crow ink
blood
mark something. Yeah.
I think that's one of the newer ones that was recently published.
Yeah. So I would like to see an actually scary The Monkey.
That would be cool.
I would be interested in that. I don't hate the new one, the what it actually is. I can appreciate the dark humor. Absolutely.
I did like most of the dark humor, but then I feel like it got a little repetitive.
Yeah, so it's a good thing it wasn't a long movie. But also, it took me a bit to come to terms with the fact that it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more horror.
Right. Like that, not only was I expecting something similar to the short story, I was also expecting it to be a horror, not a horror comedy.
Or a dark comedy. I did like the beginning where it like kind of had Final Destination vibes. The rat running across, biting the rope. Like that was very, very Final Destination.
Yes. Yes, and when it pulled his intestines across the room.
That was a little...
I'm pretty sure crossbows don't retract.
Disembowelment. I think it was a harpoon. Because it was on scuba gear. And it had like...
yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I think it was a harpoon. But even still, do they retract like that?
I think so, only because you would be pulling the fish back in. And this is going to be a really stupid comparison, but in Fortnite, there's a harpoon gun, and when you shoot it, like, it comes back.
It does retract?
Yeah.
I've never used a harpoon. I couldn't tell you.
Me neither. I would assume it comes back so you would get the fish.
Yeah, that would make sense. I didn't think of it like that.
But the disembowelment was just...
The guy sitting next to me.
Laughing.
I could feel his range of emotions in that moment. Like radiating off of him. Like at first there was, oh, that just happened. And then there was, oh, that's happening. And then he started laughing at how long it took the intestines to come out of his stomach.
Yeah, intestines are big.
Right, but also that room wasn't that long. But
No.
but still, just feeling the range of emotions from the guy next to me was comical in and of itself. The scene, but his reaction was pretty great.
I did like the way they showed the monkey's face melting. Like, that was... I don't know how it came back, though.
That's how I felt the book should have ended. The short story should have ended.
With
Like,
the monkey burning?
Yes, like after I finished the short story, because it's typically how you destroy things.
Burning it.
Right. Like
Ouija boards.
Yeah, we have a way of feeling that fire kind of purges everything, right?
Yeah.
So like I kind of felt that the short story should have ended like that.
I did really like the ending for the short story, though.
Yes. Now that I've experienced all of these things, that's where I'll pick is that ending.
Yeah.
I still have mixed feelings about this movie.
I just wish it was horror. That's like why it's not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Like, I still liked it, but I wish it had more of the tone that the trailer set.
Yes. It was
Like,
definitely...
Made it seem like what Stephen King said, bat crap crazy.
I don't think that's batshit crazy. I think that's... What the trailer depicted, I think, was a regular horror movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it looked a little bit different from the other ones, like other horror movies. It didn't seem so...
I don't know. As we've discussed, horror movies don't really do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're all kind of the same. Oh, the bad guy's coming for me. Like,
Person's gonna get away anyway.
yeah, like it's like, don't go in that room. Why are you doing that? Like a lot of them don't have that. They don't leave you like sitting watching the end credits in shock. Like, oh, like I'm gonna go back. A Quiet Place. Like
Day one.
Like literally, the credits came up, and I'm just sitting there, like, oh, what just happened?
You really seem to like those movies.
I did because there's so few things that actually leave me with that feeling of
Dread,
despair, of shock, of just plain old what just happened.
Yeah.
What did I just experience? Or if this happened, I would be screwed. Like that sort of feeling. And so, and like or like a helplessness kind of feeling where no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. I'm screwed.
I did like that they had that for the monkey.
What do you mean?
That kind of tone. I feel like there's nothing that they could have done about the monkey. In either the short story or the movie.
I like the way it was depicted in the short story better. I feel like...
What do you mean? Like, the ominous vibe?
Yes.
Me too. Like,
the movie had more comedy than underlying causes.
horror, yeah.
Like, you know, or symbolism. Is that the word I'm looking for? Symbolism, where like the monkey is meant to be evil and you can never actually kill it type of deal. Like, I felt like most of the focal point was on Hal, Petey, and Bill.
Yeah, it was.
Which, like, yeah, kind of. But it was mostly on Bill's revenge.
It was. And, like, it wasn't really Hal's fault.
Yes and no.
Like,
But you know what? If Bill wasn't such a jerk, he wouldn't have tried to do it.
in the movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because in the movie, for people that haven't seen it, Hal tries to get the monkey to kill Bill, but it actually kills their mom by her having an aneurysm.
Because Bill had already turned the key.
In the...
In the movie.
Oh, yeah, when they first...
In the beginning, when they first find it.
And that killed the babysitter at the hibachi place, which... Annie.
Oh, yeah, because it happens, it's a delay. In that situation, there was a delay.
Like, it didn't drum yet, but then in the car, it started drumming.
Yep. So they had both, at that point, they had both turned the key.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to go after them.
True.
But it killed him in the end. with the bowling ball that Hal wanted to kill him with.
Yeah, like I like how they did that at the beginning. They dropped, or Hal had a vision of dropping the bowling ball on his face as a child, and then he died with a bowling ball smashing his face.
Yes, taking his head off. I really don't like how mean they were to each other.
I don't understand how
like
different they are in the book and the movie.
I mean, I guess
I
guess that's what maybe Osgood was trying to come across at, where most families have problems, you know, like no matter how loving somebody can be, there's always that bad seed or there's always animosity.
Yeah.
Like not every family's perfect. Maybe he was going for those things, but But I just didn't like how mean he was for no reason. For no reason. And he was just outrightly vulgar. And it's like, is it really necessary? Like, really?
Oh, also the vape kill. Or like whatever that...
It was a vape, yeah.
A big vape.
Well, yeah, it was... Oh, that's right. We were confused about what year it was.
It was 2024.
Right.
It said on the phone book, and then started in 1999, and then 25 years later.
Yeah, that time frame screwed with my head.
And then also, when we realized that Bill was the brother, we went back to 2016, the year of the monkey.
Yes.
And that's when it came back. I did like that whole montage type of thing.
Yes. So, going into it, I was interested to know how they did the time transitions, because there were a lot of times where Hal just simply sees something and imagines something that happened 20 years ago. Yeah. And then he just a couple minutes later comes right back to the present day.
Yeah, that's how the story was super confusing in that way.
Right. So this one was written in 84, so I'm guessing that was supposed to be the present day.
I don't know when it was written, because the book itself was published in 85.
Yeah, so I don't know when he wrote it exactly, but either way.
Yeah.
The present day did not have cell phones. It did not have vapes. It did not have...
I actually don't think there was any cell phone usage
there was.
in the monkey.
In the movie.
Yeah. When?
Hal gets woken up to a phone call from Bill on his cell phone. He's on the cell phone at the hotel when the lady gets blown up.
About that. Because like the rest of the times it's like a pickup phone.
Yeah, it's people's house phones and stuff. Yeah. So like that kept confusing me on the time frame, because you kept having places that felt old, and he had a car, like a 1990 something old car.
Yeah.
So there were so many aspects that were old. But then they'd throw a vape and a cell phone in there, and my brain would explode. And I'm like, but that's not what year we're in. I was a little confused at the time.
In the short story, it was definitely way more confusing.
Yeah, to figure out when it's child Hal to when it's adult Hal. Yeah. Those things were a little confusing.
I also just thought, like, all of the kills were pretty much unrealistic, but could... I guess happen under the extreme
most ridiculous circumstances.
Yeah. But the vape kill just did not.
Did you see it sticking out of his neck?
Yeah, I did. It's just I feel like
that one was insane.
Yeah, it would have ripped out, I feel like, if somehow it got lodged.
It wouldn't have gone sideways. If it got knocked down his throat, it would be vertical.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be horizontal. It wouldn't be horizontal. It wouldn't have worked that. And you know what though? It would have knocked out his teeth and exploded in his mouth first.
That's true.
So, because what did it get hit with?
The vending machine or something.
Oh no, one of those metal rakes. He stepped on a rake like a cartoon. In the middle of like a cartoon. In the middle of his store. Yeah.
Sure. Wasn't the monkey in the motel in the story at one point?
Yes.
I feel like it would have been cool. Now I'm thinking about this. Like after the dream sequence, either waking up at the well or waking up and it be sitting on the shelf.
Yes. That was what I expected, because that's how it was. But at that point, Bill already had possession of the monkey.
Yeah, he's had possession of the monkey for
Most of
8
the movie.
years. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
2016 to
I thought it just started looking for him at that point. I didn't think he actually had it then. I thought he only.
You're right.
I think he only came across it when Aunt Ida died.
That's
the lady with the flaming head.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. The Year of the Monkey was just when the monkey was actually back.
Yeah, when it made its way back.
I know I already said this. I just really like that montage. Hi, turn the key, see what happens on the fortune cookie thing.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Yes.
The strip club thing was weird. Where the monkey was on.
Oh my god, on that lady's face. And
then another weird thing was in the dream when Hal got put down on the table and the monkey head was. Yeah. It was goofy.
The strip club part reminded me of the Bruno Mars song.
I feel like a lot of his music videos are in some form of club.
The Lazy Song.
Never heard it.
No?
No.
It is a hilarious song. I enjoy it wholeheartedly. But the music video has several men with monkey faces.
I see that on
you can imagine why I would think for that scene, because it's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Monkeys are creepy. And they're chimp. I think they're chimps, right?
The toy monkey is a chimp too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous as that movie was. But I really like that song. It's funny.
Never heard it.
It's not a children's song?
Probably not.
No, but it's funny. I enjoy it. Oh my god, that came out in 2010.
Wow.
Jesus, we're not gonna do math. We're gonna
15 years.
I'm gonna make that go away. Jesus.
Like when it was winded, I liked the entire thing it did. Like the drumsticks would spin and then it would start hitting the drums and playing the music. Also, the ending when Bill was trying to force the drums down and it flew him across the room. Don't know how that happened, but I liked how the monkey got mad and just started drumming really fast.
And then created a mini apocalypse.
Yeah.
For that town. Yeah.
Seemed like a pretty heavy apocalypse with how much stuff was going on.
Well, I mean, because that was isolated. So it was just that small town that happened in.
The
so
apocalypse through the lady.
That was absurd. Absolutely absurd.
The plane thing was what was absurd to me. The plane, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what exactly fell through the roof at first.
I don't know where those bodies came from.
Well, they were supposed to be people getting married while parachuting. So I think the groom came through first in pieces.
I see now. I see.
And then the bride. You didn't?
No, I thought it was people that Bill had just killed and were upstairs. But now I see.
They were parachuters that were getting married. So I don't know if there was a priest and then the groom. And then the bride is what was hanging.
Yeah, that makes sense because the parachute could have been holding her.
Yeah. She got stuck by the parachute.
That makes sense. I didn't even connect it. I thought they were just random people.
That's funny. I mean, they were.
Yeah.
But one thing I didn't particularly like about the movie is that the monkey wasn't an independent entity.
Yeah, it had someone controlling it.
Kind of, yeah. Like it was.
Also,
it was kind of like a Russian roulette. Yeah, that was weird.
The worship thing was just...
That was strange. Yes, where it's on top of the... Yeah, I don't know.
My righteousness and...
I know, he'd do like this whole ritual just to turn the key. But I just... Because nobody actually turns the key. In the short story, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think anybody does.
I think it just goes off.
It just goes off on its own. But in the movie... Somebody has to turn the key in order for something bad to happen.
So I kind of see why they would change that for the movie. Because then they would have to create an entire thing.
Right.
An entity thing that would be possessive.
I mean, they kind of already did if they're going to throw that horseman death thing at the end.
I don't know why they did that.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't.
I don't know. Maybe it will in the future.
Of the monkey.
The monkey 2.
The monkey.
The monkey returns.
Monkey resurrected.
Well, I guess he can't return because he's not dead. He's not gone. They have him.
Yeah.
The monkey...
The monkeys.
Lives. Oh, no. That doesn't work either. Yeah, I don't know. But I kind of liked the idea that it was its own thing.
Yeah.
So it was, the whole time it was creating tension in the short story that, turn the key, Hal. You know you want to. Like,
yeah, I did like how it was, I don't know if it was actually speaking to him or if he was imagining it. Like,
right.
I didn't understand that, but I liked that I didn't understand.
Exactly. And that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Like,
writing wise.
Well, no, that's really hard to do in theater. Like, to see and hear something like that. Like, so if you're hearing it, you're going to know who it's coming from.
Yeah.
So they could have had like an evil Hal voice doing the monkey.
They could have. I actually did like his voiceovers, like throughout like the beginning.
Oh, yeah, when he's talking about the story happening.
He did good voiceovers.
It would have been funny if they used Stephen King for that.
That would have been cool.
That kind of I was kind of thinking that that's what they would have done, but the voice didn't.
Some sort of cameo.
Something, but I guess he didn't have anything to do with this movie. He had no idea.
Except giving the right stuff for the monkey.
Well, yeah, except for the monkey part, yeah.
There's actually a picture of him with the popcorn buckets. The AMC one.
Aw. He looks so excited.
Also, I found out that Stephen King doesn't live in Maine anymore. He lives in Florida.
Traitor. That's funny. After all those stories written in Maine.
Yeah. I like how close that is to us.
Yeah.
Like,
Florida is not.
No.
Well, at least he's warm. Warmer than we are.
Definitely. So what would you rate the short story out of, should we do 5 or 10 stars?
10.
10? What would you rate the short story out of 10 stars?
Before the movie, I probably would have given it like a 7. Because I was like, okay. But after seeing the movie, I'd probably give it more like an 8.5.
That's fair.
What about you?
For the short story? I read it after the movie. It's probably like a 6. The ending, though, would probably get like an 8 or a 9. It was just really hard for me to read. Yeah. Confusing. What would you give the movie out of 10 stars?
I feel like I'd probably have to give the movie like a 6. Which is hilarious because we are so contrasted.
I think like...
You're going to give the movie an 8, aren't you?
A 7.5 or 8. Yeah. Probably an 8. I did really like it.
That's so funny.
I guess that's the difference between reading and watching first.
Well, it's also preference.
I prefer movies over books. You prefer books over movies,
right?
I'm assuming.
Right. And also just like our tastes in entertainment are different.
Very.
So, but I think that's what makes us entertaining.
You're the book person, I'm the movie person.
Yes. Would you watch it again?
Yeah, I'm going to buy it on DVD.
Well, I'm going to read the rest of the Skeleton Crew book.
You started reading The Mist, right?
I did.
I have not read, obviously I haven't read, but I also haven't seen the movie.
I have not seen the movie in probably 20 years. Wow. Maybe.
2 decades.
It's been a long... Ew, ow. Ew. Just stab a knife through my heart, thank you.
That's longer than I've been alive.
Oh, that's even worse. Stop it. You don't have to twist it. So there's a lot that I actually don't remember about the movie, which I think is probably a good thing.
Oh, me either.
So I'm kind of reading it with fresh eyes.
Mm.
I think I've got about halfway through The Mist, but I'm curious to rewatch the movie after I've read the book.
That'll be interesting.
I will probably not be watching The Monkey again. I mean, if it's on somewhere at some point.
You're not going to go out of your way to shut it off?
Exactly. But, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it again either.
I'm definitely buying it on DVD, but I'll probably watch it quite a few more times.
Well, you'll have to let me know if there's any Easter eggs that we missed.
And it'll be different because it'll be after I read the book. Mm-hmm. And by the time it comes out on DVD, I'll probably...
That's a pretty fast process these days.
Yeah. Like, there was this movie that I watched called Companion. It was pretty good. 2 weeks in theaters and then it was released.
Sheesh.
Yeah, like not even a month. Insane.
I remember when it took like a year for it to come out on VHS. That was insanity. You'd have to wait till Christmas to get the movie that came out on Christmas. What?
Well, that's how it used to be with like movies in like 2015 or 2016. It would take like 3 months for it to come out of theaters, another month to come out on digital, and then like another 2 months for it to be on DVD.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people are getting used to this instant gratification, and I don't think that's good.
Like, I feel like that was really long for a movie to come out, but I don't think it should be 2 weeks. Like, that gets me less excited for it, because that makes it seem bad.
I guess. But I don't know.
That's my perspective.
Yeah, because then there's also no hype.
That too, like...
There's nothing to build anticipation for it.
Also, if I really want to see a movie, there's always websites.
I'm sure. I have not watched anything bootlegged in a very long time. But I feel like the turnaround shouldn't be almost instantaneous. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there should be a little bit of time before something is accessible after the movies, because I mean, I guess they're afraid that people are going to forget about it. But if your marketing crew is doing the right thing and it was actually a good product to begin with, they're not going to forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
there'll be something that'll be like, oh,
that'll bring it back. Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people didn't like this movie, but Imaginary.
I did not see that. I don't even know what you're talking
It's about a bear. And one of the biggest twists was that the bear was never even there during the entire movie. And that just has stuck with me for, I think it's been 2 years since I saw that.
I think A Quiet Place will be with me forever.
Yeah, like movies like that, like that'll...
And I just stumbled across it. I had no idea it existed.
On Paramount, right?
Yeah, like I had no idea it existed.
Also, another thing about The Monkey, we went to AMC theaters just to get the special popcorn bucket.
A little more than an hour's drive. I will add.
$50 popcorn bucket. And it's not even really a popcorn bucket, it's just a toy, collectible.
It's a collectible. It's for display.
It's not a toy.
Never call it that. I kind of want to drum it.
I mean, the arms do move.
I know, but it's funny because the movie is like, don't turn the key. Don't
Trust
turn the
me,
key.
You don't want this arm or the drum to be down. I think that's what the guy said at the beginning.
Yes, you don't want it to be down. But like, just looking at it, I want to do that. Whoop. I want to drum it. As creepy as it is.
You can drum it if you want.
I don't want to break it.
I can't believe how much this was.
I know, it's insane.
It is solid plastic, though. What?
Solid plastic.
It's got to be at least like 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah, I mean,
throw it at someone, it'll probably really hurt.
As long as it doesn't start drumming on its own. It'd be kind of cool if you could wind it up.
That would be cool. I
Or
tried.
at least if you could twist it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And it made like
the clicking sound.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I guess it probably would have cost another $50 for that.
Probably. I'm sure there'll be someone out there that does like a rehaul on it and makes it like...
Or just makes one.
That too. Did you see IGN is a huge company for movies and games and TV shows and stuff. They got sent like a monkey and it looks horrible. Like I can show you real quick. I do not like the way it looks at all.
What do you mean they got sent a monkey?
Like
to
show
restore?
off. No, to show off. Like it was a promotional thing for the movie.
Oh, okay.
But like I don't like you'll see what I mean. Like I feel like that one's a lot better.
Maybe it was supposed to be more of a rendering of the short story.
But like it looks just like that, but like it looks faker.
Faker.
Yeah. I just didn't like the way it looked so fake. And they should have made it furry.
It looked staged. All of that
too.
looked staged. It was a script. It was scripted.
Well, most of them are. It's just to show off.
A product.
Yeah. Like influencers get sent all of these movie things to show off. And that's a way of marketing.
Yeah. I'm not so heated about the situation anymore.
What situation?
Mostly the copyright or trademark. You
Yeah.
can't trademark a toy idea.
I don't understand that at all.
I wonder if it's fake. I wonder if it was all just...
A marketing ploy. That'd be insane. I mean, it worked.
a great idea.
It did work.
Like, I don't know if it worked, but like, it's a great idea because I had no idea about it. But I guess that doesn't mean much because I don't know much about these things. But,
if it was a marketing ploy, I'd say it worked.
yeah.
Because like all those news articles talking about it, I feel like got the name The Monkey out there.
But don't you think if Disney is that Sue happy, they haven't gone after them for that?
After what? Talking about why they didn't...
Like if Disney didn't actually have it trademarked so they couldn't use it, Disney
They could sue them for defamatory.
Yes.
So then maybe it is true.
Yeah. Conspiracy. That brings me to our idea for our next episode.
What is it?
You'll just have to wait and see which side of the conspiracy theory you're on. I'm Erica.
And I'm Wyatt.
Thanks for listening.
This is Tales Untold.